So for today, we're going to discuss weirs. Okay, so another fluid flow measurement device. So weirs are overflow structures that are built across an open channel to measure or control fluid. So medyo malaki yung scope ng weirs, no, unlike with other measuring devices. So weirs have been commonly used to measure flow water, but it's now being adapted to measure the flow of other liquids. So the formulas and the principles that will be discussed are applicable to any type of liquid. So before kasi more on the water, since the application is sa mga sources of water and the measuring devices that they use or the measuring methodologies that they use. So ginagamit yung weirs. Okay, so there are classification of weirs according to shape. There are 5: rectangular, triangular, trapezoidal, circular, and parabolic. And under classification according to the form, they're called sharp-crested and broad-crested weirs. So here in the illustration, we could see that there are different parts of the weirs, no? Of course, with corresponding definitions that you see on the right side of that presentation or board. So here, we call the nape or nap, the overflowing seam in the weir. So ito po yun. So ito yung ating okay. So next we have the crest of the weir. So the crest of the weir is the edge or top surface of a weir with which the flowing liquid comes in contact. So ito po yun, yung ating crest. Okay, so in contact siya dun sa ating fluid. Okay, so the contracted weir. So contracted weirs, so hindi siya nakalagay dito. Mamaya we will be discussing that. Contracted weirs are by definition, so a background, weirs having sides sharp edge so that the nap is contracted in width or having end contractions. So either one end or two ends. So later on we will have our calculation for that. May mga factors tayo consider. Next is the suppressed weir, or what we call the full width weir. That weir is having its length L being equal to the width of the channel so that the nap suffers no end contraction. Walang contraction mangyari, hindi nabawasan. And then we have what we call the drop down curve or the drawdown. Okay, drop down curve causes the drawdown. Okay, so drop down curve, the downward curvature of the liquid surface before the weir. So ito po yan. So this is the drop down curve. Ito. So I will mark this as yan. So ito po yung ating drop down curve. And the difference or the height caused by the drop down is what we call drawdown. So bumaba. Okay? And then of course we have what we call the H or the distance between the liquid. Ito po yan. The ating H. The distance between the liquid surface and the crest weir measured before the drop down curve. So yung pinaka maximum na pwedeng i-measure na height, because when we do or when the curve ay nagkaroon ng drop down or drawdown, so iba na yung kanyang measurement. Okay, so other elements now, we have the water surface. We also have the distance. So this distance is approximately 4 times the height or the head. And then we have the VA squared over 2G. And that VA squared, okay, that VA squared over 2G, okay, is also known as H sub V. Okay, this VA squared over 2G is denoted by H sub V, or it is known as the velocity of approach. Yan. Okay? So, mapapansin nyo naman sa illustration, of course, may velocity, no? Before approaching, or velocity prior to passing the weir. So, dinedenote siya as H sub V, or what we call the velocity of approach. No, yan yung ating VA squared over 2G na nakikita nyo sa illustration. So, we have also the weir plate, the plate itself. So, pwede nga siyang sharp-crested or broad-crested, and the channel bed where the fluid and the weir rests. Okay, so now let's proceed with one of the classification of weir according to its shape, or also known as the rectangular weir. So, rectangular weir, yan po, no? So, we have, from the term itself, rectangle. So, rectangular yung kanyang approach. So, here, we could see the formula, no? The formula came from the differentiation of the formula dq is equal to dA v sub t. And then from there, so nagkaroon ng integration, and this is the formula that we're going to use. Now, if we're going to use this general formula, ito nakikita nyo. So this is the general formula, this one. So here, nakikita pa natin yung parehas yung 2/3, no? C square root of 2gl, 2g then L, no? By the way, yung 2g yun lang yung naka-square root. Square root of 2g times L multiplied by h, yung head, yung kanina, plus h sub v, or the velocity of approach raised to 3/2 minus velocity of approach raised to 3/2. Now, in context of rectangular weir, this 2/3 c square root of 2g is what we call the weir factor. Okay, so this is what we call the weir factor, and that weir factor is designated by c sub w. Kaya makikita nyo sa formula, na-reduce natin yung kanyang formula to that formula, no? Q is equal to c sub wl, then times quantity h plus h sub v raised to 3/2 minus h sub v raised to 3/2. And this formula of discharge are formulas that corresponds to the actual discharge. Okay, kasi ginamitan na natin siya ng coefficient. Okay. So, CW is the weir factor, yeah, just like I've said, equal to 2/3 c square root of 2g. Okay. Now, if the ratio of this h over p, by the way, no, meron tayong mga parameters na dapat natin i-consider dito, no, sa ating illustration. Yung p, yun yung height ng ating fluid. Okay, sorry, yung height ng ating weir. So, this is the p. Okay, and then yung h, yan yung height ng ating fluid. Now, if the ratio between the h and p is very small or sobrang liit, the velocity approach also becomes very small. So, let's consider. So, if h over p ay sobrang liit or almost, no? Ano ba? Equal to 0, no? Or sobrang liit ng kanilang ratio, or very small na lang lagay natin. Very small. The velocity approach h sub v is somehow liliit or almost 0. Kaya yung formula natin, yung napapansin nyo dyan, from the formula or the general formula, mare-reduce na siya dito sa formula na to. Okay? Given na maliit masyado yung ratio. So, babanggitin yun. Okay? Or, kailangan banggitin na neglect, no? Or nagkaroon ng neglect sa velocity approach. Okay? So, that this will become our formula. Okay? So, yun yung nakalagay dito. Ito yan. So, if h over p is ratio sufficiently small, yeah, or very small, the velocity approach may be neglected. Now, this formula naman nakikita nyo sa baba, no? Okay? So, yung Q is equal to C sub WL, H raised to 3/2, then 1 plus C sub 1, H over D na naka-squared, where C sub 1 is 3/2 times coefficient of discharge. I think this is coefficient of discharge. I-rewrite natin. So, this is, yan, coefficient of discharge squared over 2G. So, this formula, okay, so ginagamit natin to, no, if meron tayong tinatawag natin na successive trials, no, to solve for what we call yung discharge. Ibig sabihin, the velocity approach is a function of Q. So, yung velocity approach natin is a function of Q. Dito tayo mapupunta. Now, ang tanong, sir, is it just the same? So, makikita natin yun sa formula. Therefore, kailangan alam mo yung general na illustration natin for rectangular weir. Ito yun, yung nasa ibabaw. Okay? And D there is the depth of the water upstream. So, ito yon yung total depth. Yan, depth of the water upstream. And then H yung head. And then D is equal to H plus P. So, doon natin magagamit yung ating mga formulas na to, no, for rectangular weirs. Okay? So, now, the question is, if C sub W is not square root of 2g times 2/3 C or 2/3 C times square root of 2g, anong gagamit nating values, no? So, or given. So, ito yung mga formulas na babanggitin ko ay ginagamit natin, no, to analyze weirs, no, with their corresponding factor. Yan. So, we had what we call the standard weir factor. So, ano ba yung mga consideration when we say standard weirs? Okay? So, there must be specification in having what we call the standard rectangular weirs. Or usually, the standard weirs ay walang end contraction. So wala silang no end contraction. So, kanina, nabanggit natin sa definition na meron tayong mga end contraction. So, pwede magkaroon. But this time, etong mga formula na to, babanggitin ko, ay wala siyang end contraction. No? So, we have what we call the Francis formula. So, this is the formula. No? So, based upon the experiments of rectangular weirs, 1.07 meter to 5.18 meters. Ayan. So, may corresponding feet or dimension. Long underheads from 180 mm to 490 mm. So, ito yung ginagamit natin na formula. So, 1.84, 1 plus 0.26 h over d squared. SI unit yan. Ngayon, if h over p, anong ulit yung h? Yung h yung ating head. Ayan, kaya pinapakita ko pa rin yung illustration. And then yung p yung ating height of the weir. So, if it is less than 0.4, the following CW may be used. So, pwede mong gamitan ng 1.84 pag SI at 3.33 kapag English yung units. Okay? So, that is Francis formula. So, binabanggit to, no? Kasi based siya sa mga studies kaya nakapangalan sa kanila. So, next we have the Reebok and Chow formula. Sa Reebok and Chow formula, so meron tayong dalawang formula na pwede natin gamitin. Pag SI, parang katulad lang din siya ng Francis, no? Nakikita niyo ba yung 1.84 na hindi siya nawawala? So, 1.84 plus 0.22 h over p, kapag SI, or kapag English, pwede mong idiretso, 3.27 plus 0.4 h over p. So, ano ba yung kapag h tsaka p ng English, no? Kapag English, hindi naka-fit. Kapag naka-SI, meters. Okay? So, and now this formula, no, this is not Reebok and Chow. I think this is Bayesian. So, baguhin natin. So, Bayesian. Yan. So, for Bayesian formula, for rectangular weirs that have the length of 0.5 meter to 2 meter under the heads 50 mm to 600 mm. So, may may parameter na sinusundan. So, this is the formula. Medyo mahaba. So, very empirical to. So, 0.5518. Ayan. Times 3.248 plus 0.02161 over h multiplied by 1 plus 0.55 h over d squared. So, medyo critical, no, kapag depende sa Bayesian formula. I think specific since merong parameter na sinusundan. Anong ulit yun? Length of 0.5 to 2 meters under heads from 500 to 600 millimeters. So, i-consider natin yon, no? So, babanggitin din dapat yon kasi pwede pa rin naman pumasok yung ibang formula, no? At pwedeng magkalapit-lapit yung mga sagot. Okay? Pwede. So, next is yung tinatawag natin na contracted rectangular weirs. Kanina, when I say standard weir, wala tayong end contraction. So, unlike the rectangular weir, standard rectangular weir, so this time, meron tayo ditong contraction. So, dalawa. So, we have the one end contraction and the two end contraction. Kapag one end contraction, yung end natin is 1 and yung two end is, yung end natin is 2. So, this time, we use this formula, no, for the effective length L. So, Sa standard Weir formula, ito. Babalik tayo sa general formula. Nakita natin dyan sa left side. Okay? So, magagamit pa rin natin itong formula na to. Okay? Given that, yung L natin dito will be in consideration kung meron siyang contraction or wala. Okay? Kapag walang contraction, sasabihin yun. Or sasabihin na lang yung length. Pero kapag may end contraction siya, tulad na tong nandito, sasabihin kung anong klase ng end contraction. Kung 1 or 2 end. Okay? This will be the formula. L is equal to L prime minus 0.1 and H. L prime is measured length of crest and the number of end contraction. H measured head. Yung L dito is what we call the effective length. Effective length yung kinukuha natin kapag mayroong contraction. Okay? So, that is for the first classification of the weirs in relation to their shape. Next is what we call the triangular or V-notch. Triangular weir or V-notch. Okay? So, for very low heads, a V-notch weir should be used if measurement accuracy is required. Yan. So, the vertex angle theta of a V-notch weir is usually between 10 degrees to 90 degrees, but rarely larger. So, pwedeng lumaki. Mas madalang na mas malaki. Okay? So, almost 90, mga ganon, or 90. Yan. So, kung lumagpas man, so, pwede pa rin naman, pero madalang, no? Okay. So, this is the formula for the V-notch. So, hindi na natin ito i-derive, no? For the sake of time and to analyze further problems or classification. So, for actual discharge, this is for SI unit, 4/15 c square root of 2g. By the way, yung 2g lang yung square root, L h raised to 3 halves. Ngayon, kung gumagamit tayo ng meron pa tayo isa pang formula dito na actual discharge din, no? Actual discharge natin na in this consideration, no, yung actual discharge natin na to, ay pwede pa rin natin to magamit. Okay? Ngayon, kung gumamit tayo ng angle, no? Kung ginamitan na natin ng angle yung ating weir, no, in consideration with the angle, this will become 8/15 c square root of 2g tangent theta over 2 h raised to 5 halves. Yan. Or pwede rin, because CW here, or the weir factor here, okay, equals siya sa 8/15 c square root of 2g. Yan. So, kaya mare-reduce dun sa formula na nakikita ninyo dyan sa inyong mga screen. Okay? So, yan yung ating formula for the triangular weirs. Okay? Or they call it V-notch. Okay? So, ayan yung natin. Ayan yung ating solution, no, for the triangular weir or V-notch. So, yan. So, dito yung theta, applicable nga yung from 10 to 90 degrees. Okay? So, meron din tayong standard weir, no? Hindi ko na nailagay dito, but I will write this down. So, we have this what we call, yung mga tinatawag natin dito na lang. Okay? Standard weir or standard 90 degree weir. Okay? So, pag standard 90 degree weir, so meron tayong formula, no? Kapag SI, ang formula natin is discharge is 1.4 h raised to 5 halves. At kapag English, yung ating unit or system, Q is equal to 2.5 h raised to 5 halves. Yan. Kapag 90 degrees yan. Okay? Ngayon, kapag hindi 90 degrees, of course, back to the general formula. Okay? Ngayon, ang tanong, sir, para saan po itong merong 4/15c raised to, okay, square root of 2gl h raised to 3 halves. Yan ay if the given sa inyo is the length. No? Binigyan kayo ng length ng inyong weir. May isang formula naman, nakikita nyo, yung nasa taas, okay, or here, is the formula if hindi given yung length, but given yung inyong angle. Okay? So that is for our triangular weir, or they call it V-notch weir. Okay. So next we have what we call the trapezoidal sharp-crested weir. So trapezoidal sharp-crested weir, it's a combination of the rectangular and the triangular. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo doon sa formula natin, okay, yung ating formula is CW sub 1 LH raised to 3 halves plus CW Z H raised to 5 halves. Kung matatandaan ninyo, kung babalikan lang natin, kapag rectangular weir, this is the formula. Okay? CWL, yan, H raised to 3 halves. And kapag triangular weir, yan, so that is CW tangent theta H raised to 5 halves. O, mukhang parehas na parehas lang. So, we have to remember na itong CW1 of course corresponds to the weir factor kapag rectangular. Okay. And the CW sub 2 is the weir factor naman to ng triangular. Okay. So, in any case, kailangan kabisado nyo yung formulas ng mga weir factor. And yung Z dito na nakikita nyo, Z here can be represented by tangent, ayun, theta over 2. Yan. So, ayan yun. Okay? So, given, no, yun yung ating mga formula. Now, if you don't want to use the direct formula, pwede naman kayo manggaling sa rectangular, triangular. So, hatiin din nyo tulad na nakikita nyo dito sa inyong screen. So, you have two triangular weirs na mukhang kalahati ng dalawang kalahati ng isang V-notch and isang rectangular weir. So, marehas lang yung magiging approach ninyo. Okay? So, yun yung ating magiging analysis. Okay? Now, pwede natin din makuha na yung tangent theta over 2 is H over B. Yan. So, tangent theta over 2 is also equal to B over yan, H. Yan. Pwede rin, no? B over H. So, ayan yung ating pwedeng i-consider, no? Sa ating solution. Kung nakikita nyo na ganito yung latag sa inyo ng formula or ng illustration, you could just remember the concept of the trapezoidal sharp-crested weir, the formula from rectangular and rectangular and triangular, and combine those two formulas. Kasi doon naman sila galing. Okay? So, that is for the triangular sharp-crested weir. So, another one is what we call the Cipolleti weir. So, Cipolleti weirs, so meron siyang specific na measurement of angles. Okay? Pag Cipolleti weirs, these are the trapezoidal weirs with side slope 1 horizontal and 4 vertical. So, saan yan ito? Yan, i-zoom natin. Okay? So, 1 horizontal, 4 vertical. Yan ito. 1 horizontal, 4 vertical. Kaya yung ating angle na nakikita nyo dyan, yung ating angle theta is 75.96 degrees. Okay? So, yan yung theta na kanina, no? Yung, kumbaga, katulad nun sa, dun sa triangular, no? Pero yung kanyang angle alpha niya is 14.04. Okay? So, yung alpha niyan, ito, no? Ito yung angle na yan, angle alpha. Ewan ko kung nakikita nyo sa screen. Ayan. So, ito. Yan. So, this is your angle alpha. And this is your angle theta. Ito po yun. Okay? So, ayan yung kanyang characteristic. So, kapag nag-fall sa ganyang value or ratio, take note, yung ating slope of 1 is to 4. So, i-consider na natin siya as Cipolleti weir. Unless otherwise specified kung anong klase ng approach yung gagamitin natin. Pero madalas na ganito yung magiging mangyari dahil yung formula ninyo mare-reduce, no, to these two formula. So, ito na yon. So, kapag actual discharge nyo is 1.859 L H raised to 3 halves and Q kapag English unit is 3.27 H raised to 3 halves. Okay? And then, another type of weir is what we call the Sutro weir or the proportional flow weir. Or tinatawag din na ng hyperbolic weir. Because gumagamit nga siya ng itsura ng hyperbola. Okay? So, hindi siya parabolic, no? Hyperbolic. Kaya yung formula natin dyan, okay? Or yung ating discharge dyan varies, no? With 3 halves power of Hn in triangle weir, yun nga. 5 halves power of H. Pero kapag hyperbola or hyperbolic, ganito ang kanyang discharge. 1/2 C pi k raised to 2gh, where k is the value of 2x multiplied by square root of y. So, ano yung y at x na yan na tinutukoy? Ito po, no? Depende sa point in the axis. So, if this is your center line, no? So, x is the distance, no, from the point of the center line, no, horizontal distance, to the hyperbola, kung saan mo i-consider yung iyong analysis. Okay, and then h or y is the point from the iyong bed, no, or channel bed dito. So, if this is your channel bed, ayan. So, y is the distance, vertical distance. So, makakuha tayo ng k na value na magagamit natin sa formula ng Sutro weir or proportional flow weir. Okay, and then second, I think this is second to the last. Okay. Second to the last is what we call the submerged sharp weir. No? Submerged sharp weir, so from the term of submerged, unlike kanina, doon sa mga pinag-uusapan natin, so yung mga weirs na nandun ay yung isang side lang yung naka-submerge. Yun yung assumption. So, balikan natin. Ito yon. So, ito yung tinutukoy ko. Yan. So, dito, ganito yung kanyang itsura, no? Yung after from the upstream, papuntang downstream, let's assume, no, na ganon. Yung level ng water, yung mismong weir plate ay hindi malulubog sa kabilang side. Yung kabila lang. Pero this time, no, or on this subtopic, lahat ng portion ng weir nakalubog. Okay? The discharge over submerged sharp-crested weir is affected not only by the head on the upstream side, H sub 1, but by the head on the downstream. Yun nga, doon sa kabilang side, which is H sub 2. So, ito yung kanilang formula, no, kapag ganyan yung nangyari. So, the discharge for submerged weir is related to the free or unsubmerged discharge. Q sub S represent the submerged discharge and Q is the unsubmerged discharge. Okay? So, N, so that is, yung ratio nila is equal to 1 minus H sub 2 over H sub 1 raised to N, at yung buo na yon ay naka-raise sa 0.385, where N is 3 halves for rectangular and N is 5 halves kapag triangular. Okay? So, medyo tedious, no, yung ating formulas for submerged sharp weir. So, saan natin kukunin yung mga values na yon? So, yung values ng Q, makukuha natin yan with the unsubmerged discharge. So, babalik ka dito ngayon. So, if meron kung Cipolleti yan na submerged, edi from the formula of Cipolleti weir. Ngayon, kung formula siya ng unsubmerged na trapezoidal, edi ito yung gagamitin mo na formula. So, ratio kasi yung binigay kapag submerged, no? Kasi kukunin mo nga yung formula ng lumubog, no? Yung discharge ng lumubog do sa submerged weir. Okay? So, yun yung tinutukoy na. Kumbaga, naka-ratio and proportion tayo. Okay? Sige. So, next. So, like the orifice, meron din tayong formula for unsteady flow for weir. So, just like I've said before, or for our previous discussion, so hindi ko na i-derive, no? Pero ito yung ating general formula. So, looks fam, diba? With our formulas last time, or last discussion natin, ng time to compute for the unsteady flow. This time, kung weir ang gamit natin, mare-resolve tayo dito sa ating specific formula na from the general formula. Actually, general formula pa rin to, no? T is equal to 2as over weir factor times L times 1 over square root of h sub 2 minus 1 over square root ng h sub 1. So, parang katulad lang din siya, kung naalala ninyo, with our orifice. Pero this time kasi, gumamit tayo kasi ng tinatawag natin na, yun nga, yung velocity approach. and other factors. Ayan. So, CW, the wear factor, L is the crest length, and A sub S, nakikita nyo area, constant water surface area of the reservoir. Okay, yung kanyang contact area or constant water surface. So, yung area na yon na tinutukoy doon, no, yung kung ano man yun. Okay? So, H sub 1, initial head, and H sub 2 is the final head. Sige yung kapag lumipat na sa kabilang side. Okay? So, that is for the unsteady flow of the weirs.